Now, let's play a game. There's 2 pictures of libraries right there. Who says, make sure my directions are, who says ours is the one on the left?
It should be.
All right. Who says it's the one on the right? All right, you're right. You're right. So that library has been sitting there for about a year now. Okay, and it was, I would say about like 30-40% more full than that. So the idea with the library, I know it's my fault, I never really put up like a sign on like how it was supposed to work or a sheet or anything like that. The plan is with the library is a bring a book, take a book. Not take 3 books and then never bring another book back. Okay? You can bring the same book back later, but the idea is it's an exchange library. Okay? It's not like the public library where you just, and I'm not going to bother tracking late fees and who has what and blah, 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 blah. Okay? It's just going to be based on the honor system. I just don't think I made that really clear that you were supposed to bring one back or when you're done, bring that one back. Okay? There is one person in the room who got the memo. My mother. So give her a round of applause. I think this is probably, how many books are in here? There's like a whole shelf in here. Okay? And I think this is like the 3rd shelf that she's donated. So. These are the ones you borrowed? Oh, okay. All right. So.
Bookstore.
Yeah, real estate related, mindset related, self-help related, investing related in general. I probably don't have a whole lot of room for a ton of fiction stuff, but if it's some kind of fiction about, fan fiction about Robert Kiyosaki or something, then I guess. But yeah, trying to keep it towards what we're here about. Yes, sir.
I would also like to add, if you read a book and it inspires you, and you're inclined to share, buy a couple extra copies and donate them to the library. This library is not, we don't expect Rich to go out and create a library for us. This is us helping ourselves.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. There's a nice little stamp.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
Just say, donate the books you like.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. There's nothing. Yes, sir.
Can we rename it to Angela's Library?
I like that. I agree. So there is a stamp on there. Okay, the idea is that you kind of see who was before you. If you have questions or you think something was cool, maybe you go talk to that person. Hey, I finally read the book that you donated. So it's got a stamp in there. It says donated by. You write your name in it. Okay, so pay it forward. Please bring some books. I get who's got a book that they read that they liked, but they're probably not going to read again anytime soon.
They're in the library.
25,000? I'll take them. Sold. So, all right, bring some books. Everybody got it? Cool. All right. Well, without further ado, I will bring up our speaker. This guy, you might know him. He's not very funny. He's kind of a jerk. He is a little hard on himself. We're going to talk about that. So, all right. Let's give Rich a round of applause. Thank you. It's great to be here. Man, you guys got a cool place. And it looks like it cost a lot of money. It did.
You should have seen it when we moved in.
It did. You should have seen it when we moved in. Yeah, I won't. There's a video on YouTube about what this floor used to look like. So if you're looking at this floor and going, wow, this floor looks like crap. I guarantee you it could always be worse. Like this floor used to be disgusting. So, we insulated the ceilings, we painted, we did all kinds of stuff, ran all the electrical and lighting and those projectors and, So a lot of work went into it and a lot of help from everybody that pitched in, especially Caitlin and Farah and, my mom and Evan, Angela and Evan. Just getting this place off the ground with COVID. It was a ton of work, so let's give all of them a round of applause too. And I need to close a thing real quick. Hang on.
So you don't appreciate what I've provided until it gets hot.
Thank you.
And because they'll never let me forget it. Let's give Andy a round of applause for the air conditioning. Next time we do that deal, I'm going to buy the unit, you're going to handle putting it in.
Just don't let
You got the better
the,
end.
just don't let the landlord know I'm
Oh,
on the roof.
yeah. You know, they're actually pretty cool here in this park. So if you're looking for some office space, they're pretty cool, but they apparently do not appreciate when you upgrade their building without their permission. So, you know, I mean, I can't blame them. You know, I don't know if I want one of my tenants cutting a hole in my roof either, but, you know, I know what I'm doing. Maybe. So, all right. Well, welcome everybody. This is our first Fire Focus Mindset event. Like I said before, on some of the meetup stuff and whatnot, what I talked about in the past, mindset is something that's very important to real estate investing. You know, we can talk about the numbers, we can go through financial calculators, you can look at the deals, but before you get to that point, you know, you're going to run into challenges, you're going to run into problems, you're going to not want to get out there and cold call or door knock for deals or whatever. But your mindset's going to, you know, what's going to get you to wherever you want to be. You know, whether that's your we call it the fire number, you know, that goal you want to be at in a few years or whatever your plan is. You know, it all starts somewhere. Okay. You have to have a calm mind when you're dealing with technology. Come on! It's frozen. No, really, it's completely frozen.
Get it.
There we go. When I closed the pop-up, I didn't click back into the slide, apparently. Well, that wasn't it. All right, hang on a second. No, I don't think any better. I think it's just dying. Turning it on.
Hey, technology, Grant.
USA. Okay, so we're going to talk about, you know, I'm going to tell you about myself for those of you that don't know me that well. We're going to dive into mindset, and then we're going to talk about the compound effect. Just curious, who's read the compound effect? Good book, right? Okay, so we're going to, some of this might be, you know, repetitive, but some of it hopefully is a different take on some of it. So, so my background, there's some pictures of me. I like to travel. Obviously, you know, I'm dating that beautiful woman over there. That's Caitlin, just hiding. So there's some pictures of us, you know, traveling. We bought an RV over the summer and went all across. We went all the way up to Yellowstone and back down there. I've been to Greece, Mexico, China. You know, I like to travel. I've been house flipping and wholesaling since 2017. Somewhere around 110 completed. That's probably like 60 flips of single family, about 30-ish mobile homes, about another 30 or so wholesale deals over those last couple of years. And I've been a housing provider since 2020. I bought my first house a week after they closed Disneyland. Okay. And my mom called me one day about while we were in escrow, and she's like, "You're not going to believe what's happening. Like, did you hear they're like closing Italy and like, you know, and blah, blah." She's telling me all this stuff that they're, and my mom likes to, you know, share things that are going on in the news that I really don't want to know sometimes. And I was like, yeah, let me know when they close Disneyland. Then I'll take it seriously. And then she called me, she's like, "Dude, they're closing Disneyland." Well, what am I going to do? I'm in this escrow to buy this house. I'm supposed to close in like a week, and the world's shutting down, you know, for 2 weeks. Right? So anyways, I actually, you know, this is the power of this club, and this is before I even ran it. You know, we had already gone to Zoom in that March, and I came here, and I was basically like, I'm terrified. I don't know what to do. This is my first house like rental that I'm buying for myself. what should I do? Like, you think the market's going to crash and I'll get it cheaper? You know, I was buying a duplex in Crestline for $240. And that sound effects. And so I was buying a duplex for $240 in Crestline, and I was like freaking out about it. And Andy was on the Zoom call, and Steve, the guy who used to own the place, and he was like, "What's the interest rate?" And I was scared. I didn't want to say it. I was like, I don't know why. I don't even know why I was scared. Like, I didn't want anybody to know like how good of a deal I was getting. And I honestly don't remember what like my mindset was of why we didn't want to share the interest rate. But he's like, "Is there a 2 in front of it?" And I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Buy the freaking house." And I was like, "Oh, all right." Well, Steve and Andy are telling me to buy the house. And Andy laughed. I don't even think he said anything. He just chuckled like he just did. And so I bought the house, and you know, it was a great buy. It turned out to be a great buy. I refinanced it a year later. Took $60,000 out of it, and then bought a triplex right after that. So I got 2 houses for basically nothing. I got all the money back that I had bought the first one with, and then used the rest of it to buy the next one with. So that worked out very well. And if it wasn't for this club, I probably wouldn't have bought it. You know, so if you have a problem, bring it here. Okay. Previous lives. So I used to be a recruiter for tech companies. At one time I recruited for like software engineering, pretty much all the people that make all your phones. Those were the people that I tried to staff. I joke around that, you know, I used to sell people, and I really did. So I pretty much just had to like sell people to their bosses and put them into jobs. So I also did outside sales for a while, for like 8 years for James Hardy. Anybody ever heard of Hardy Backer? Hardy Siding. You flippers out there definitely know what I'm talking about. Wonderboard, backer board, that kind of stuff. I pretty much spent 8 years in the trenches at Home Depot in retail. If any of you ever worked retail before, you'll understand why I am the way I am. No retail workers out there? So, and then I also went to Arizona State for business. I ran a motorcycle club at one point as I was in college. It turns out, looking back, it was probably more of a drinking club. And we actually, rode motorcycles, but we called it a motorcycle club. So, and then I was during high school and stuff. I worked at the school theater. I worked pretty much all through high school as a stage tech, and that's pretty much where I learned how to do all this stuff. So, it was fun. It's funny I didn't pursue it as a career because I didn't like the ups and downs of the paycheck. And now I'm chasing deals, the ups and downs of deals. So,
You like to eat.
I like the game, right? Yep. So, these are some of my houses. They're all long-term rentals. I did play around for a little while with short-term, mid-term rentals, but I decided it wasn't for me. And everything is long-term now. So we have lots of trees, lots of decks. That one on the bottom right there is the newest one that I acquired on a subject to. The seller had a 2.9% interest rate, and I basically took over that loan for free. So I paid the closing costs to get them out of their loan, to get them out of their problem, and their problem became my problem. So now I'm the one that gets to put $20,000 in the house, which is fine because I'm not going to cash flow for about 10 years. But in those 10 years, I will have lots of equity. So it's a positive mindset. Pride and the tax advantages, exactly. And pride of ownership, all that stuff that they do, right? All right. And if you're answering the question or you're asking the question, does it snow in Crestline? Yes. Yes. It snows. It hasn't snowed at all this year. But last year, we got some snow. We got a lot of snow. I shoveled the snow off my roof and my deck, Caitlin included, twice. 4 feet of snow off the roof, on the deck, off the deck, onto the floor. We did that twice. And our deck is half the size of this room. So, just me and her. It was fun. So, all right. So, big mentor of mine has a saying. I don't know if he came up with it, but he definitely talks about it a lot. So, where does wealth begin?
The dream.
In your mind. All begins in your mind. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, as we go through this presentation. So, all your thoughts, your actions, the choices you make, the results, they all end up becoming wealth, and it starts right here. Okay? Now, what is mindset? Ready? Andy?
I'll go with attitude for a one-word.
Attitude.
One-word response.
Okay? Ebony?
The way your mind automatically thinks, if you're a negative person, positive person.
All right. The way your mind negatively or automatically thinks?
Yeah.
Whether you're negative or positive? Automatically?
Yeah, most of the time you see somebody walking down the street and you're like, what are they wearing? Or you're like, oh, that's nice. It's an automatic thing that you do.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how she likes me, if she's judging by
Depends what shirt you're wearing. Or if you have a shirt on. All right, so a definition of mindset is a combination of beliefs, thoughts, emotions, assumptions, and attitudes. And in general, in short, it's basically the lens that you view your world. And we view our world. Okay? And our world, our part, is the important one. Okay? Who's heard of manifesting, law of attraction, that kind of stuff? Okay, so when I say our world, I mean your world. It really, the way that you handle things and those beliefs and thoughts and emotions, all that stuff, defines how you see the world. So, if, I'll get into some examples here in a little bit, but why is it important? So, it really does influence everything that you do, everything you feel, everything you say to yourself, to other people. Whether you look at people walking down the street, or and you say, "Wow, they look great," or "Wow, they don't." That says how you look at some of the things around you. Okay, if you're the type of person in real estate that is, who's had the question like, I don't have enough money. So it stopped you from doing a deal. Okay? That's important, right? That's a mindset thing. So we're going to get into that a little bit more. And like I said, I defined those. Sorry. So, for you philosophers out there, anybody philosophy? Like philosophy? Anybody? We got 3. Well, this is for you. What's up? You want a mic? Nobody can see you. You're like this voice that's just coming out of the side over here. I know, you want to come sit with us? All right. So, there's a lot of, whether you're philosophy or religious or, you believe in the universe or whatever it is that you believe in. I'm not religious, okay? I was raised Catholic, and honestly, I didn't like going to church. I just didn't like it, okay? It wasn't for me. But I learned later in life that the lessons that were being taught were lessons that other religions and other philosophers and other influencers and whatever you call them, the great minds of history, were essentially saying the same thing. So, one of them is Lao Tzu. You probably heard some of these quotes before. But it's watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. Okay? So, who's you ever wanted a new car? And let's say you wanted a Camry. And you never wanted a new car. Sorry, he's the only one. But you ever wanted a new car, you want a Camry, and then all of a sudden you're thinking about Camrys and you start seeing them everywhere? Okay, and then you find yourself seeing the Toyota dealership go by on the car. So it's these, this habits, these words, these things you tell yourself end up becoming your reality, your perception of your world. Okay, so And many other people have said the same thing. So the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. Guard accordingly. It's Marcus Aurelius. For you Gladiator fans out there, same guy. It's kind of an old movie now, huh? Yeah, I think they're remaking it or making a sequel or something. Anyway, it's not good.
Best movies ever.
Also, what is it?
One of the best movies ever.
I know, right? That's what I'm saying. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. That was Buddha. Okay, so like I said, kind of the same themes. Different people throughout history, from different parts of the world, all, kind of pointing to the same kind of stuff. And you could Google this stuff. There's, many more quotes that I could put up here. Okay? But there's one guy who likes, I think he's my favorite philosopher that's living. And he puts it in a really, really easy to digest way. Okay? Your life is your fault. Okay? So you just scrap all the Lao Tzu or Marcus Aurelius. Pete summed it up in 5 words. Your life is your fault. Okay? So, and you might interpret that as the great thing about quotes and philosophy and whatnot, is you can interpret it different ways. My interpretation of that is like what those other people are saying. That you have to take responsibility for your actions, and it goes back to it all starts in your thoughts, it all starts in your mind. Okay? So, now, there's different kinds of mindsets. And that kind of messed up. That slide didn't work real well. So, anyways, there's different, we talk about limiting beliefs, negative mindsets. What other words you got for that? Anybody?
Other words for that?
Yeah, like other ways of saying that.
Debbie Downers.
Debbie Downers?
Already always listening.
Say that one more time.
Already always listening.
Already always listening. Can you hear that?
Complaining all the
Like the
time.
Karen? Like Karen's, is that what you're saying?
Already always listening. No, you're always, that voice in your head, you're always listening to it. And
Oh, yes.
it's always telling you something.
Yes,
In case
absolutely.
anybody's asking what voice in your head, it's that one.
Gotcha. Absolutely. Ray.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
Self-fulfilling prophecies. I like that one. All right, so there's already some of them up there. Sorry, those weren't supposed to pop up yet. See if we can get them in a way. No. All right, so I don't have enough money. Anybody use that one before?
I have.
Okay. It's too risky. Nothing's risky enough for Farrah.
I'll do anything.
I'm too late. I missed the market. Anybody? What about California is too expensive? I mean, whether you agree or not, but like to stop you from doing something. Okay? I'm not a people person.
I do that all the time.
All the time? What else? Money doesn't grow on trees. I didn't have that one, but it doesn't go on. I like that. More money, more problems. Yeah.
Money
Is
is
it Snoop?
evil.
I'm smart enough.
Who was that? Jay-Z? Is that?
I'm gonna find a deal and not have the money to do it.
I'm going to find a deal and not have enough money to do it.
I'm too young.
I'm too young. And the reverse, I'm too old. It's too late. Anybody ever tell themselves I'm just dumb, I'm not going to get this stuff? I have. It's too hard. I like that one. Can't do it. Louis?
I came up with a couple of things over the March first.
Yeah.
He mentioned that I was just saying stupid things.
You're saying stupid things. Okay.
He made me write it down.
All right.
Louis said this.
Good. And then what? Hopefully there was a second part to that. Maybe you're still writing them down. That's a different exercise.
The people are gonna think I'm trying to swindle them.
People are thinking you're trying to swindle them. Yeah, that's a big one. That not having the confidence that you actually are helping people. Because it's hard to get past that. But you can't help yourself and help somebody else too. So, not good enough. I don't know how. I think we have something similar to that. Okay, so when we talk about rethinking that kind of, those positive mindsets, it's not just simply the opposite. Okay, like you don't say, I'm dumb, and then you're like, I'm smart. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but you want to build up a little bit more. So let's talk about these. What's a positive way of saying I don't have enough money?
But I belong to a real estate investment company.
I can get it. How can I get the money?
Lindsay will be here.
Farrah.
I have access to any amount of money at any point in time.
I have access to any amount of money at any time. I like that. I like that. Okay. Anybody else? I have the resource. We got a second one. I have the resource. Money flows through me endlessly. Andy.
If I can't find the money, it must not be a deal.
If I can't find the money, it must not be a deal. That's like a double entendre there. I don't know. You got like a positive and a negative. You do class? No, you're not a centrist. Never mind. All right, so I'm surrounded by wealth, okay?
Every Wednesday.
Which, you guys just all pretty much said all that. Okay, it's too risky. Any positive ways to say it's too risky? I'll give you a hint here. With proper prep, I can mitigate the risks. With proper research, if I educate myself a little bit more, things become less risky, okay? Story time here. I just passed on a deal down the street in Riverside. It was, long story short, it was a friend. I found out on the MLS and it ended up being a friend who's a club member. Called him. He wanted $285 for this property. I only, in my kind of limited knowledge of the market, specifically Riverside, it was on a big lot, could have been an ADU play, but I did not have the research at the moment and how fast he wanted to make a decision to negate the risk on that. Okay? But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to now do the homework. So I offered him $220. He came back at $265. But all I knew was how to run the numbers as a flip, as a straight flip. And at those numbers, I would have lost money, or maybe made a little bit that wasn't enough for the amount of work that I needed. Okay? But as an ADU play, when I was running those numbers later, it would have made sense at that $265. Okay? But I didn't know that at the time. Okay? So what I'm getting at here is just because something's too risky today, you want to do the research anyways for tomorrow. Make sense? Okay, I'm too late.
You can't learn any younger. Win Teasley.
You can't learn any younger.
That's good. I like it.
Big Daddy Teasley said that, huh?
Lots of time.
I like it. I like it. I heard you were going to build some mini golfs.
Yes, I was.
That's awesome. I wish you would have. That'd be good. There's still time. I got a lot of Crestline. And I hear you got an IRA. Okay. All right. There's always new opportunities. It's never too late. Especially, I think when I put that one up there, I was thinking the too late on the market. I hear a lot of people hear stories about, anybody like wish they would have bought in 2010 or 2009, would have bought a lot more, right? I hear a lot of new people saying, maybe I feel like I missed the boat a little bit. Everything's so expensive now. And, there's opportunities in every market. And, you're not too late, So that is a limited, it drives people like out of state. But there's always, just bought a house 4 months ago for $90,000 right here in Southern California, 40 minutes from this clubhouse. So they exist. What's that?
No.
No.
No. Can't be that.
You must have stumbled. There must have been another zero with that. Nope. Nope. Stick-built house.
In the desert.
I mean, it was one stick left. There was 3 sticks. No. It was. I mean, it needed a lot of work, but it exists. And that's just one town. I know Evan bought one under $100,000 not too long ago.
Next week, week and a half, we close 110,000 stick build, and all the sticks are there.
Yep. So You know, I got a call on a mobile home the other day, double wide, they want like $15,000 for it. And it's in pretty good shape.
Oh,
You know, so they're out there. You know, you just gotta, again, you gotta believe it. You know, if you just sit there going, there's nothing out there, I'm just gonna sit here and do nothing. Well, guess what's gonna happen? Nothing. Okay? I'm not a salesperson. Or excuse me, I'm not a people person. But if you like, they're not a people person. You are
I
the
want to share.
period. Yes, sir. You want to come up and get the mic?
No, I don't need a mic, you know that.
It's not for everybody in the room, it's for the recording.
Oh, okay.
Come on up. Mr. Teasy, let's give a round of applause. Should have strobed the lights for you. Mr. Deals himself.
number 8.
I want to point out something that's not obvious to most people. Most of the good, active, non-guru educators that are out there for us today still are introverts naturally.
Guilty.
I work hard to be the outgoing person that everybody thinks I am. I am happiest with a book, having lunch by myself and ignoring everybody, or in a jacuzzi or hot tub. I really like not talking to anybody. But it's just another mindset you can overcome. And Bina, after she teaches for a weekend, she has to just decompress. So, yeah, if you talk to the good educators out there that you have access to, I think Pete may not be, but he probably is too.
No,
Certainly
he shows
Sean
up in the
Schaub
room.
is.
You know.
Yeah, he doesn't hang out after he talks. He's up in his room drinking milk and eating peanut butter crackers. Anyway, you're doing good. I didn't want to interrupt. I just wanted to
That's
share
all right.
that. Thank you.
That's all right. I like having company. Andy's my spirit animal. He even likes Red Robin. My girlfriend doesn't, so I gotta take him out to Red Robin.
I can always take Andy out to Red Rock.
All right. Good point. Good point. I'm like you, Andy. I'm naturally an introvert. We'll get into this a little bit later, but you know, if it seems like I'm super comfortable up here, I am now. But man, when I took over the club 2 years ago, that's why I put Evan on stage most of the time. Because I just like to hide behind the camera. So we'll talk about it. All right. So if you don't feel like you're a people person, you know, stop telling yourself that. You gotta tell yourself, you know, you communicate your own way, you connect with people your own way. Okay? You can find those common ground with people. You know, even if it's saying, hey, I'm an introvert, how about you? And you guys laugh about being introverts. You know, that opens it up. You know, so all right, a little bit more here. Instead of just the opposite of I'm dumb, I'm capable. Okay? You don't gotta jump to you're smart, just stay humble. I'm just kidding. So I'm capable. I can't do it. I am successful. Okay? I wish I could. I'm taking action. I'm good enough. I'm not good enough, sorry. I am unique. Unique, yeah, you're all unique. You're all unique. You're all special. Your mom's told you so. I believe it. I believe it. And you're always learning. So everybody stand up. All right, repeat after me. I am capable. I am capable. I am successful. I am successful. I am taking action. I am taking action. I am unique. I am unique. And I am always learning. I am always learning. All right. You believe it? Yeah. All right. We'll make you do it again. Give yourselves a round of applause. Now, I want you to turn to the person next to you and tell them that they are unique. And you want to know. Anybody else introduce themselves as unique? Oh, good. All right, take a seat. And once again, that whole process, it begins where? So before we get to this part, I want to bring up one other person here. Who this person is at? What the hell is going on?
Technology. It was in a mood to restart.
This person is actually in our Fire Fast program. More sound effects. I need to record. Just press a button. I know, right? That was too much. That was way. We had to cut off the budget. I actually did want to put a window in there. I was like, you know what? No. All right. So this person's in our Fire Fast program, and he was saying something. We all went out to lunch on Sunday. Monday. Days run together. We went out to lunch the last couple of days, and he was talking about how he had a mindset shift. And so let's give Mr. Manny a round of applause. Come on, baby. He did not know he was going to happen. It's all good. It's all good. You are unique. You got this. Okay. All right. So you on Saturday started to tell us about how. What did you do in the last week that people would want to know about here?
So, just like everything.
How you found what we're working on?
So, I've been taking this class, Fire Fast, and it's been going really good. It's the whole mind shift thing that, everyone talks about here. Like, it's real, kind of real. Like, you kind of, sorry, I wasn't prepared for this.
That's right.
First of all, thank Jesus. I am a little religious, so yes, thank you. First and foremost. I was just kind of putting into practice a lot of the things that we've been taught, like going out, driving for dollars. My wife and I, on Saturday, not this Saturday, the previous Saturday, we went driving for dollars. I told her, hey, after I take this class, this is going to be our Saturday morning routine. We're going to go drive for dollars. And
you don't have to say where, just leave it at driving for dollars.
Yeah. We're going to drive for dollars and, try to make some deals happen. So that following week, she had a doctor's appointment. I took a day off from work. I work a 9 to 5. I'm an IT nerd by trade. And so her appointment was in the afternoon. I told her, okay, well, I'm gonna go drive for dollars in the morning, and then I'll come pick you up and I'll take you to your appointment. So, okay, great. So I went out and, it's just kind of funny how things work, right? Like, I don't believe in luck. I don't believe in any of that stuff. Like, for me, everything comes from above. And everything just kind of lined up step by step, right? And I just happened to drive by this place I've been wanting to drive by for quite some time, but up until taking this class, I didn't really have the tools or the know-how or the knowledge of what to even say. I get that a lot of you are probably seasoned investors. For me, this is new. Like, I always, makes fun of me, I always call myself a wannabe investor, but and so, I kind of drove around and found some empty properties. I found one, and then I started driving some more, and this is at a mobile home park. Started driving around and, I started talking to people. We pretty much I pretty much knew what to say based on the practice that we've been doing. We've been doing door knocking on weekends and whatnot. And just talking to people, and just kind of shifting that mentality of I don't know what to say to knowing kind of exactly what to say and trying to help people in situations like that. And my biggest roadblock was always the money for me, right? It was okay, I have one rental property in LA, but I don't have the amount of capital that it would take for me alone just to be able to do a big project. So learning that, find the deal, like they keep saying, find the deal, don't worry about the money later. That was my biggest thing. And that was one of the first things that I said, right, I'm not gonna care about the money. I'm gonna trust the process. I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna find the deal. Long story short, I don't wanna kind of bore you guys, but
Well, you said something on Saturday, and you got a killer deal locked up, okay? But you said something on Saturday
Yes.
of the kind of the fear you had before and then after. And do you remember what you said? I kind of wanted you to.
yeah, so I said a lot of things,
I
but
know.
like, but one of the main things that I said was, you know, that fear that I had, like, it's no longer there. Like, I can go up and talk to people now. I can go up and just start a conversation, you know, about properties, about just anything. I've never really had a problem talking to people, but like talking to someone, like, you know, with the idea of like buying their house or buying a property from them, that's a whole different thing. And my biggest thing is like, you know, this deal right now, like, you know, like I mentioned this before, like, it's in God's hands. Like, you know, if it goes through, great. Like, and I'm believing wholeheartedly that it is going to go through. Thank you. And but you know, at the end of the day, like, with the tools that they've given us, like, there's no way I'm not going to go out there and make a deal. Like, it's not possible for you not to make a deal.
You've had
Yeah,
a
you gotta
major
keep
like mindset
telling
shift.
yourself that. Keep telling yourself that. Like, you know, I've told my wife, I've told my kids, like, this year we're buying properties. Like, that's literally like my kids know that. You know, the money thing, like, it happened. I made a phone call and I was able to secure a hefty amount of money. I sent my partner, Farrah, a text. I'm like, did that just really happen? Like, like one phone call and I secured a hefty.
Yeah, I'll leave that.
But yes, so
More money than you ever secured, probably.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, absolutely. Like, way beyond anything. And it was literally, I'm at work and I went outside. So my boss was like, I want to take a walk. I went, sat down on the bench, and made a phone call. And like, my jaw just dropped afterwards. I'm like, whoa, that really just happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't worry about the money. Find the deal. Sign up for their next class.
That's how it was pretty much.
But, yes.
Good man, good man. Well, again, hell of a job. Thanks for being a good sport. I did not give him any, prep on that. I wanted to get the raw, up for it. So, when he was talking the other day, it was just a massive mindset shift from fear, limiting beliefs to I can do this, and it doesn't take, what changed was before you got the deal, that you believed it and went out and did it.
Took action.
Like you took action.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I found a partner.
And found a partner. So what's it going to take?
Action.
You just said it. All right. So, action is a big one. Like you have to take action. You can't just you can't wish for it. I always think of this quote. Maybe it's a little inappropriate, but one of my best friends, his dad always had a saying. His dad said this so much growing up that my friend used to say it all the time. So it was. I gotta think of it, make sure I say it right. It was wish in one hand and shit in the other, see which one fills up first. So, one of those is action. One of those is just wanting it to happen, okay? You have to take action, okay? If you don't, like I said, I was worried about telling that joke, especially since it's going to go on YouTube, and I'll probably have to cut that out.
But everybody knows the same.
Yeah. So, what are you saying? Was it unique to my dad's friend? All right. So, the compound effect. So, I read this book about 5 years ago, and as I was cleaning out my hard drives, because I was trying to fit all the stuff we've been recording to send to the editor, and I was running out of 5 terabytes of space. I don't even know. But we record a lot of stuff here, and it's all in 4K, so it gets really big. I was cleaning out my hard drive, and I came across an old workbook that I had done when I read this book. And that's where I kind of came up with it for today. And it was some of the stuff that was on there, I was like, holy crap. Because when you change, you don't necessarily see it yourself. Like if you, like if you lost weight, in my case, you gained it, but if you've lost it, and you see somebody that you haven't seen in a while, and they're like, man, you look good, you lost a bunch of weight. and you don't really see it because you see yourself every day, you know, something like that, you know. So to look back on this thing that I came across and see the changes that I've made in my own life, I wanted to share that with you guys and do a little bit of an exercise on the compound effect. And so again, who has read this book? Okay, so the idea of the compound effect, and I'm pretty sure we used to have it on the shelf, but we went through that probably where it went. But I did put a copy on the shelf. It might still be there. It's a great book. Darren Hardy wrote it. And the long story short of it, and it's not even that big of a book. I mean, you can probably read this book in like a day or two, or faster. An hour if you're a star pupil. And the long and the short of it is that anybody heard of compounding money, compounding interest, right? Kind of the same effect in your own life and the actions that you can take to get better over a longer period of time, but that you don't have to make these drastic, massive changes just today. Like you don't have to go join the gym, do 10 sets of 15 different exercises every day tomorrow, every day for the next 6 months, so that you can be in a bodybuilding competition in July. Okay, like you don't have to do that. You can take baby steps and get to that point sometime in the future. Okay, and who's done that? Like who's joined the gym and went crazy for the first week, and then you couldn't even move off the couch like for 2 weeks, and you're like, screw the gym, right? Yeah, I've done it. The first time I ever went to a CrossFit gym. Anybody been to a CrossFit gym? I think they actually on purpose try and kill you, like so that you never come back, and they just get your yeah, like because I mean, like one time I went, not only did I thought I was gonna die, I actually kind of wanted to. Like, I was literally like just in pain for days after that. And dude, I don't know. We have different mindsets when it comes to that.
That's where you go to be a Spartan.
Yeah, right. But then, you know, when I went years later and started going to the gym, this was last year, not this year, obviously. I started off really slow, and I told my trainer, I was like, look, I don't want to burn out the first week. I want to work up, you know, and it worked out well for a little while. We'll go into that a little later. So, all right. So, I want you guys either to take out your phones or if you have a piece of paper, write down a few excuses that may be holding you back. So let's say like 5 things. Okay, just the 5 things that come to your head the most, or the fastest. 5 things that are holding you back from getting a deal, losing weight, whatever you want, whatever your goals are. 5 things that are holding you back. And he's got it in your head, right? Yeah. I have no excuses. Life is your fault. Mm-hmm. All right, who's got one? Don't mind sharing. Denise?
I put consistency.
Consistency. Okay, that's a good one. Deals don't pencil.
Time.
Okay.
Time.
Time?
Self-doubt.
Self-doubt. There's a big one.
Lazy.
You're lazy.
Yeah.
Me too. That's why I got rid of the short-term rentals and went back to long-term.
Fear that I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'll get myself into something and, you know, like let's say I fix and flip and I'll go, oh my God, I don't know what the hell I'm doing with this. You know, like now I'm responsible for it.
Yep. So fear of the unknown?
Yeah.
Or you're not really sure? Okay. What's that, Jeff?
Afraid of losing money.
Afraid of losing money. Okay. Don't worry, we'll find you more.
Just call Andy. Procrastination.
Procrastination. Okay. Anybody else?
Finding a good contract.
Finding a contractor. Hey, you find a good enough deal. There's lots of people in this room that know contractors.
Netflix.
That's true. Oh man, we just crushed 4 seasons of a TV show. I don't know when we found the time, but there's always time for TV apparently. When? Age. I love it. Okay.
I'm gonna go with Evan.
Social media.
When I was posting, I was scrolling, so now I'm off because I need to focus.
Yeah, absolutely. Ebony. Family. Familial excuses. Those are big ones. You got kids. Yeah. Sarah?
Not enough energy.
Not enough energy.
Just tired.
Yeah, I feel that one. All right. Yes, sir.
Spending too much time on small stuff.
Spending too much time on small stuff, like what?
Administrative stuff, paperwork, filling out
Stuff
notes.
yeah. Yep, Caitlin says you need a delegate. We all need a delegate. Trust me, myself included. Like delegating. Who wants to go slap this computer? All right. So again, thank you for sharing. I know it's tough to share the excuses or get a little more personal, especially in a room full of people that you may or may not know. So I appreciate that. Like I said, this list is from, I literally pulled this out of my computer that I wrote 7 years ago. Okay, so mine was addiction. Okay, so I used to smoke. I used to smoke probably a pack a day almost. And most of you, pretty much none of you have ever seen me have a cigarette. So that's probably a little bit of a surprise. I also used to drink quite a bit back then. At my best, I was probably like a fifth of vodka every couple days. At my worst, I was probably about a gallon. So, sorry, I usually don't say this out loud. So,
Take time, bro.
So I had to get real with myself, and 3 years ago in April was the last time I had a drink. Thanks. And I know people, if you struggle with this, come talk to me. It doesn't get talked about enough. But there is, there is things that I just gave it up one day. And I know I'm not lucky, I'm very lucky to be able to have done that. And I had support of family and friends, but a lot of people don't get to just decide one day. It's something that they struggle with for a long time, and I did. I tried to quit many times before that. I don't know what changed. I just finally had enough. Really just mindset. Something clicked in my brain, and I was just like, this. This is stupid. I don't know why I'm doing this, what's crazy is I don't think anybody in this room actually knows this other than those two. I took over the club. I was actually in rehab. So when I started in January, and I think I was about a month out of rehab. I would say rehab, it was like a Zoom meeting. But it was pretty much, it wasn't like I was in a facility somewhere. They had 1033, whatever. What's it called?
5150?
5150? They didn't do that. But it was a very supportive Zoom meeting. And it helped. I fought that for years, getting help or talking to anybody about it. It did help. So, again, if that's something you struggle with, come talk to me. I also had tons of anxiety. That I see now is because of substance abuse. I couldn't drive for a little while. I just felt like my brain was going to disconnect from my spinal cord. That's really what it felt like. I'd be on the highway. I love driving. I used to race motorcycles. I have wanted to drive since I was 10 years old. Car games and driving simulators and stuff. I love driving. And so not being able to drive just because I was like, thought my head was gonna explode was crazy to me. And turns out it was really just, mostly tied to just putting a lot of bad shit in my body, and confidence issues. Like I said, it used to freak me out to be up here, Again, that's why I used to put Evan in front of the room, and Andy. I'd be like, and a bunch of other people, because I didn't have the confidence in myself to get up here and talk. That I didn't have the knowledge, which I did, but it was tough. It's tough to anybody struggle with confidence? Like you feel like imposter syndrome? Anybody dealt with that? The negative thoughts, like people are gonna laugh at you, they don't want to hear what you have to say, that kind of stuff. And just self-esteem issues and stuff like that. So, and the blaming others, yeah. Like who's at one point you're like, maybe when you were younger, or maybe it was yesterday, the president's the problem. Or, mom and dad were, they were mean, or, your boss that fired you, he was just an asshole and didn't understand you, but really the problem was me and my mindset. So I want you to take those things that you wrote down, and I want you to start writing down some small actions that you can stop doing that are making things worse, okay? Yes?
I think one of the biggest things that I found myself doing for years, and I didn't realize it, is feeling sorry for myself.
Feeling sorry for yourself.
But I didn't realize it until certain things had happened in my life before it clicked. And I do believe in the Lord. I'm another believer here. And I felt like God was saying, you need to stop pitying yourself or you're never going to get anywhere in life.
Yeah.
And the moment I stopped doing that, it's like something just clicked.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing better now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And confidence did start to grow
Yeah.
from that.
Thank you for sharing that. Appreciate it. Let's give her a round of applause. Anybody else want to share? No? Okay. So again, write down some small actions that you can stop doing, whether it's, just write it down, we'll go through them, okay? I see everybody furiously writing. It's okay, keep going.
And Angela and I are texting each other, but we can't use it as ammo against each other either. Texting the list to each other, it's like, I can't use this.
Oh, that's gonna get used. You messed up.
Thought I'd share in case anyone else heard.
Don't text us if you go to this list yet. We're gonna talk about accountability in a little bit.
Too late.
All right, who wants to share one? I can go first. It's okay, I'll go first. Okay. So, like I said, I used to smoke. And like, if I was out drinking, shit, I'd smoke a pack in 2 hours. So for me, going from a pack to, this was me reasoning with myself. How many years ago did I say? 7 years ago? Less than 5 a day would be a good start. So I started rationing myself. I'd have one when I got up, I'd have one at lunch, or if I really wanted to, save them all for the end of the night, and just huff it, just make it all day so I can feel proud of myself and reward myself for not smoking all day. It's a stupid shit you tell yourself, so, who's got one? Ebony.
I used to eat a Whopper every day, and I went.
Whopper every day.
Yeah, it was down the street. It was college. But they were 99
You should have just smoked.
Great.
No, I'm just kidding.
But I used to eat a Whopper every day, and
Yeah.
I went from a Whopper to a Whopper Junior to a Whopper.
Nice. All right, so compound it down. Nice. Give a round of applause. No Whopper. Like it. Denise.
I had set consistency, so what I did this year, I found an accountability partner, which is my husband. We complement each other, and every week we have a check-in. So,
Good. So you used your husband as an accountability partner?
yes, and that's how.
Good. Right on. So you go. You know what? Somebody can help me out with the mic on this side, on both sides.
Well, I guess the top one that I wrote, the first one I wrote, was forgive myself for my mistakes. So,
Forgive yourself for your mistakes.
Yeah, I've tried a lot of different things in the last 5 years, trying to break out of what I've been doing for most of my life. And I've made, obviously mistakes. You chose the wrong person to work with, or just, you put money where you shouldn't have put money and that kind of stuff. And, the fact that it didn't take off kind of makes you shrink, it makes you feel like, I can't take those risks again, it gets smaller. So try to forgive myself for that.
Absolutely.
Like you said, it's a learning, right? You don't take it as a loss, but it's like a learning.
Yeah, absolutely. And the faster, if you guys are beating yourselves up for something out there, the faster you can let that stuff go, the better. I did the same thing. Like I said, I worked for James Hardy for 8 years, and pretty much dared them to fire me. They took me up on the dare. Okay? It's a long story with a lot of history and a lot of BS and crap over 8 years. But long story short, new guy came in to my territory and tried to tell me what to do. And being young and 25 years old, and I knew everything when I was 25. Still do. No, I'm just kidding. I told him to basically go pound sand, and they told me to pound it harder. So, whatever. But I beat myself up for a long time for that because I wanted to run that company someday, and I really loved working for them. But let it go. Chalk it up as a lesson. Move on. Anybody else?
I'll go since I have a mic.
Yeah.
So you guys heard that I said no energy and I feel tired. But it's also because I feel very scatterbrained and I just have all these things I need to get done.
Yeah.
So since then I've hired a virtual assistant. I hired Yesenia. She's been doing some work for me. I'm creating systems, because I want to free up my time. So it's just getting those systems in place. So I'm just trying to organize and take off the top things I need to get done and don't overwhelm myself with I have to have all this done today. So it's just like one thing at a time, one foot in front of the other, and just if other things get left to the side, I have to just be like, it's fine. I could do it tomorrow or a different day, and not beat myself up. So that's what I've been working on.
It must work for the club.
I really do appreciate all the volunteers that have been helping out. You guys have all been so helpful and freeing up my time, and that way I can focus on other things. That's one reason why Rich hired me, was so he could focus on growing the club, putting these classes together, and probably a list of things that he wanted to focus on. So I took that off his shoulders. Now all the volunteers are helping take that off mine. So thank you.
Thank you. This place takes a lot of work. Oh, okay. Anybody else want to share? Yesenia.
All right, so
So-
small actions that you can stop doing, it would be comparing myself to others. So like everybody's in their own journey. So instead of looking around and saying like, oh, I haven't done this or I haven't done that, it's actually focusing on what I'm doing and where my path is. So, and
Hey.
I'm diving for the exit way there. This table's done. Nice. Oh, he's over the doorway. I'm standing out in the open here. Nice. Mindset, I love it all. That almost sounded like a sonic boom. I didn't feel it before. I heard it above it. All right. Well, be all alert. The table's a nice sturdy plastic, so you guys will be safe. All right. There you go. Man, you're quick.
4.50.
Nice.
What was it?
4.5.
Oh, yeah, the last one was 4.5. The last one.
What are they firing up HARP or whatever it's called? HARPA, DARPA? There's election coming, so it's the only political joke I'm gonna make. Okay. All right. So let's get a little bit more actions here. Smaller like things you can do. Anybody else want to share? Hang on one second. Wait for the mic.
I put, on my first one, I put, stop worrying about what other people think of me.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And I guess if I'm truly honest, it might be connected to a flip side of like slight narcissism, if you think about it. Because like, if you're worried about what people think of you, it's kind of connected to wanting people to think that you're good things about you. So it is sort of like a bit narcissistic, I guess, in a way. So that's something I really need to get over and start being more of a people person.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, it's sometimes the things we struggle with are, or the things we get mad at people for, or we're concerned, is sometimes, we're just looking in the mirror, of our own insecurities or our own, feelings.
I want to kind of pick up off of what he said. One of my things on here says, die to ego. No one knows everything, and ask questions. And that's one of the things that, sometimes, like our career, we're realtors, and we're constantly getting together to brainstorm and mastermind about our careers. And sometimes people say things that sound so amazing, and you want to get it. But you didn't quite get it, so you need to ask more questions, but you don't want to ask because you don't want to sound dumb. Like, you're not that smart. So I think that that's something that we need to die to fear. Basically fear of, like what he said, what others are thinking. And no one knows everything. Even the best of the best, I've learned in our career that they don't know everything. So just ask away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. One of my favorite quotes, it's not in the slideshow, but it's be curious, not judgmental. I'm pretty sure it was either Dr. Seuss or Walt Whitman. Can't remember. Pretty sure it was Dr. Seuss. Because, I'm sure everybody in this room has asked something, like they were really excited about something, and maybe it was in school, or, more recently, something was going on, and they were like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And they asked a question, and like somebody snickered in the back of the room. And they were like, it happens. So, good stuff. All right. LA? Nope.
Step through the fear and ask for help.
Step through the fear and ask for help. All right. I like it. Patrick?
I just wanted to also follow up on what she had said. I didn't catch her name. Where being envious of others. I found a technique that recently because I found myself doing that, like whether you see somebody driving a nice car or you go over someone's house and it's like nicer, and so someone mentioned to tell yourself, yeah, that's for me, instead of saying, who the hell are they? You know what I mean, or whatever. So I really like that, and I started using that. So every time I find myself having those kind of envious, silly, stupid thoughts, I say, yeah, that's for me. Because it's like, that's what I want, right? So that's been working. So, but I also wanted to mention one thing was one of the negatives was delete distractions.
Delete distractions?
And I specifically say delete because, like, TikTok was like really getting too addictive. I was watching it too much, so I was just like, you gotta go. I was just like, delete. So I just had to stop because these things, you start scrolling and they just start
I know.
way
Yeah,
too
your
much
TikTok's
time.
my Reddit.
Yeah, so
I'm trying to
or
delete that app so many times.
somebody or Instagram or whatever. It's just like it becomes too
Like,
much.
what do you do in your hands when you're bored? So, good stuff. Good stuff. Just delete it. Somebody back there? Yep.
So just to continue what she was saying about the asking for help, another example of what happened to me is that day when I was driving in the park, I happened to come across that park manager, and I was not prepared to talk to her. I wasn't going there with the intention of talking to her. So I'm like, picked up the phone and I called Farrah. I'm like, I'm about to talk to the park manager. Can you give me some pointers? She gave me some really good things to say and ask, and here we are. So yeah, ask for help.
Exactly. A little bit. Anybody else have to share something that they want to? Yes, Win.
Yeah. Oh, hold on, I forgot you.
So what small actions?
Okay, well, mine is our problem of judging other people in their actions because it interferes with what we do sometimes. And I ran into a poem, I don't know how long ago, but I'll take a second here and say the poem for you. I don't remember too many, but this one goes like this. I dreamed death came the other night, and heaven's gate swung wide. With kindly grace, an angel came and ushered me inside. And there to my astonishment stood folks I'd known on earth. Some I judged and called unfit, and some of little worth. Indignant words rose to my lips, but never were set free, because stunned surprise showed. No one expected me.
You're hired. All right, we talked about this one already. Stop being so hard on yourself. It's a big one as well. So, anybody else thought dwelling on the past there? We talked about that one too, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yep. Let it go. List a few areas or skills where you've been most successful in the past. Okay, so maybe just write 2 things down. As I said, we're running out of time. 2 things down that, like, what are you good at? Like, what are you good? What have you been successful at in the past? What do you like to do? Sharon, what are you good at?
Vitalizing neighborhoods.
Vitalizing neighborhoods. I like that. Okay. Andy?
I'll go with interfering in young people's lives.
Interfering in other people's lives.
It's so true.
That is true. That is true. Sylvia, was your hand up? Well, tell us anyways. What are you good at? And what have you been successful in the past?
What have I been successful? I guess in school.
You just built 2 badass ADUs that I just walked the other day.
Yeah, I mean, building ADUs, a tenant, I have a short-term rental, so that's it.
Good. Anybody else? Vera?
Helping people.
Helping people? It's a good one.
Oh, I think I'm good, no, I don't think I know. I'm very good at managing money, lowering debt and saving money. That is
Good.
the leadership.
Okay.
And I talk to kids, and I help young people create budgets and lower the debt.
Good. Good. Anybody else? Okay. The point of this exercise, and these are things that I feel like I'm good at. You may disagree. It's okay. So the part is when you do feel like that self-doubt creeping in, or you do feel like those negative thoughts start creeping up, start telling yourself about what you're good at. Okay, like if you feel like there's a past failure, like shift that mindset to a past success. Okay, if there's something that's somebody's telling you you're not good at something, you quietly just kind of give them the middle finger and think about what you're good at. Okay, so it's a mindset shift. When you feel yourself going to negative, transfer it to the positive. Okay, and all right, we're out of time here, so I'm not gonna make you guys write this down. Actually, I am, because this was the whole point. So 6 small steps that you can take every day. Okay, so if some of you had, I don't know, lose weight, I'm gonna go back to that one. Okay, you go to the gym once a week. You don't have to go every day for 5 hours right out the gate. I mean, if you can get to the gym that often, imagine how many houses you can get. You went and door knocked. With that amount.
Exercise door knocking.
Yeah, exactly. Start lunging for the neighbors. Yeah, got a pair of dumbbells, walk up to the neighbor. Should I just sell your house, sir? We'll see. Anybody think they could wake up earlier? Yeah? How about go to sleep earlier? Where are my night owls at?
Right here.
Yep. I love you, I know. Again, if I'm in bed before like 1, I tell myself I can't sleep. But if I go to bed before 1 and I tell myself I can't sleep, man, I'm out in like 2 minutes. Like, it's time to go to bed. Yeah. Who drinks a lot of coffee? Yeah, me too. Me too. And this was back in 2017. And I still, I was drinking probably 5 cups of coffee a day. When you're at work and you hate your job, and you're probably hungover, you need to have a lot of coffee to keep yourself going. So I thought, I could have 2 cups of coffee instead of 5. That'd be a win, right?
What's wrong with 5 cups of coffee a day is not enough?
Nothing, Andy. You're great the way you are. Focus on the good in your life. Again, that kind of mindset shift. If you find yourself hitting those negatives all the time, I promise you there's good stuff going on in your life. There's good stuff that went on in your day. There's good stuff that are going on in the week that you can focus on and reset that mindset. Okay? And then I had to read for 10 minutes. Anybody like to read? Anybody love to read but struggle to find time to read? Okay? Me too.
I love to read in my head.
Love to read in your head?
Yes.
How do you do that?
I buy lots of books and I put them on the bookshelf and I say I'm going to read them.
All right. All right. You're a book stack reader. You read the covers on the side. And you kind of imagine what that book would be about. Like, I read it. Oh, you watch reviews on YouTube. All right. All right. I struggle a lot to read. I love to read, but like you, I should probably just bring them down here to the bookshelf because they're not doing any good on my bookshelf right this second. But yeah, I got a stack of books that I want to read. And, this was 7 years ago. I still struggle to read for 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes a week at this point. So, again, I read a lot of Reddit and Wikipedia. I get sucked into a Wikipedia article for 3 hours straight. Just keep clicking links, going down the rabbit hole. Of who knows what, Oh, there's something they found buried under the pyramid? Let's go.
You notice this wasn't on your list 7 years ago.
What's that?
This isn't on your list from 7 years ago.
What?
Being distracted by technology.
Oh, it definitely
It was, I just wasn't admitting it back then. It was Reddit 7 years ago. So, again, try and make it something small. Instead of taking your phone into the bathroom, take a book. Or take Andy's calculator questions. Don't use them for toilet paper. You gotta work them. My favorite thing I learned recently, and I wish I would have known him, gotten to know him a lot better, Clyde Wilson. He's a big teacher, or was, passed away last year. He used to do this thing. When he was stinking, he was thinking. So he'd keep a calculator, he'd keep a financial calculator next to his toilet, and he'd have a little drawer and paper, and he would just, while he was in there doing his thing, he would just work problems. He called it his stinking and thinking time. So.
There's a man that was never, ever more than 3 feet away from a financial calculator.
Yep.
And that was not on his phone. He liked the brick.
Yep, he liked the full thing. That guy, like I said, he's pretty much Gary Johnson. But my mentor's mentors. So great guy. But found time to do. You can do what you got to do. If you're running around all the time, and that's all the time you get. 10 minutes to read something. Put a book in your bathroom. Stay off TikTok, Patrick. Delete it. No, you have to delete it. Just leave your phone with it.
Oh, I had to.
All right. I put stretch when you wake up. I still struggle with this one, but some days I do it, some days I don't. But it's I met somebody a long time ago, and he was. I stayed at their house for a little while, and he was doing all these crazy firemen. He was doing all these crazy stretches, and I just remember him. Like, I don't remember anything about this guy other than this one thing that's like burned in my head. He's like, Rich. He's in pain, just like stretching, doing these crazy stretches. One thing I can tell you, stretch. This was like when he was like 20. I was 25. And he was probably my age, but I am now. And I just remember that being burned into my head because he's like, energy, and I don't know why that just came up, but there you go. So stretch, and oh my goodness, I forgot how many slides I had on this show. All right, so I'm just going to put small steps that you can take to up your real estate goals. Okay, this is basically the stuff we're teaching in the Fire Fast boot camp. So you're going to get a real crash course real quick here. Okay, meet 2 people a day. Okay, you can make that 7. You're going to be even more compounding, even more fast. Okay, but if you're the type of person that doesn't talk to anybody new a day right now, meet 2 new people a day. Strike up a conversation with the waitress if you're out getting breakfast, or the gas station attendant, or whatever. I talked to my new oral hygienist, person that cleans your teeth, in Crestline. Well, digging my mouth, like, oh. Yeah. And turned out he owns a house that is they live in a house that they're like, his girlfriend's, it's his grandma's girlfriend's, his girlfriend's grandma's, and they don't know if they want it. It needs a lot of work and blah, 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 and it's kind of a lead at the moment. So, Ebony.
So when you say meet 2 people.
New people.
I know, but when you say meet them, what are you talking to them about? You're just always talking
Whatever.
about real estate?
Whatever.
How's your IRA treating you?
Hi, how are you?
Yep, how's your day going?
Well, I mean in this room, hello.
What do you do? What are you reading there?
Nice car.
Nice car, nice motorcycle. Did you just get it? How long have you been riding?
Okay.
I love your horse. I don't know. Honestly, apparently none of you live in Norco. I'm serious. Whatever. People like to talk, even though they act like they don't. People like to talk. Okay. If the guy tells you to, F off, then just find the next person. So if you meet 2 new people a day, you grow your network, you'd be surprised at how fast deals start coming to you. Okay. Reach out to 2 people you know already. So look in that Rolodex, look in those phones. Reach out if you are new to real estate, or even if you've been in real estate a while. Reach out, tell people, look, this is what I'm doing now. Okay. I am in real estate. I help people solve problems. If you know anybody that has a real estate problem, let me know. That's it. Just send 2 texts a day. Even old friends, old colleagues, old LinkedIn profile people. I don't know what that means, but people on your LinkedIn that you are connected with, send them messages. Okay? Just 2. That's it. 2 a day. 2 a day. Okay? Practice running deals at your market. That goes back to the story I was telling earlier. Okay? If you want to invest in ADUs in Riverside, you need to know what a property's worth in Riverside with 2 ADUs on it. Or 1 ADU, or 3 ADUs. You can't really have 3 ADUs. As a triplex. Okay? If it's a duplex that you can put 2 ADUs on. Okay? You need to know what those prices are, so when all of a sudden you find out that your friend listed a house and didn't tell you, instead of being mad that he didn't tell you, you go make him an offer and you know what that offer is going to be because you've done your homework on the market. Okay? Read for 10 minutes. What do you know? There it is again. Practice Spanish for 10 minutes. I put this one on there. Because, so in part of Firefest again, we took everybody door knocking, and guess who the ones that had the most success and got the leads going the fastest?
Spanish speakers.
The ones who spoke Spanish.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because when you walk up to someone, they say, no hablo inglés, or whatever. I don't speak Spanish very well. I didn't practice. You know, and then you start speaking Spanish at them, they're like, oh shit. And then we send Manny up there. All right, and then kind of hitting on what Farrah said earlier. Volunteer at the club. Okay, if you want to get to know all of us people that run this place, quickest way to get to know us is help us out. Okay, there's a ton of stuff going on here all the time, and we don't have an official way of rewarding volunteers at this moment. But I promise you, the ones that were showing up the most and helping us out the most, they're in Firefast for a reason, okay? And they're the ones that are out there making deals like Manny just did. So if you want to volunteer, we sincerely appreciate it. And I guarantee you I'll come back to you tenfold. So with that being said, what's it going to take? Action. We're just paying attention. One more time, everybody in the room. What's it going to take? All right. So if you want resources on some of the stuff that I went through or have used in the past, ThinkUp is an app. It basically has self-affirmations that you can record with your own voice. Okay? And you can tell yourself how awesome you are. Okay? I'm serious. And that you can do all these things, the things that we went through. And you record your own voice, and your voice is powerful. That voice inside your head is powerful. Okay? So you can record these things, you play them back to yourself. When you wake up, when you're doing other things, whatever it is, driving, instead of listening to TikTok or whatever, listen to yourself. Tell yourself what you can accomplish. Okay? Case Kenny has a podcast called New Mindset Who Dis, and that guy's really cool. He's one of the only podcasts that I listen to consistently, and he just has a way with words and kind of breaking down things in life, and I just think he's got a cool podcast. If you're not deleting the app, go to Reddit, or if you're not already addicted to Reddit, go to Reddit, our Stoicism, some of the stuff on just, for those of you that know about Stoicism or want to get into it, it's just kind of controlling your mindset, and, controlling your mindset and having a better one, a more calm, if you feel like you're like kind of like a fiery person inside, and that's all good, but, Stoicism will teach you how to keep you in check, okay? And remember, kind of the summary of all this, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. That's what it all boils down to. Because why?
Mindset.
Wealth begins in your mind. Okay? So, that's it. That's all I got. If you want to JV with me, or work deals, or you have questions, or talk about mindset, or whatever, give me a call. That's my number. And again, I am teaching a class March 16th on the financial calculator. And we'll see you then. We are going to hang out for a little while. Usually stay up until about 9. Yes, sir?
Keep coming back.
What?
Keep coming back.
Keep coming back?
Keep coming back.
Keep coming back. Yes, keep coming back. If you want to keep learning about this. Sorry, I know it's obvious. Keep coming back here. We're here every single Wednesday. Again, the mindset one's going to be on the 4th Wednesday. We have the other Fire Focus events every single Wednesday. And we will have that. The only exception to that, just so everybody knows, I meant to put a slide up, so help me spread the word a little bit. I think it's February 14th, it's Valentine's Day. Whatever the Wednesday is that week, we will not have any meetings here, okay? The entire staff is gonna be on the cruise that we're going to Mexico, okay? It's like the second weekend in February, second Wednesday. Yes, yes, so it's just that 1 week, okay? It's the only pause we're taking. And then the next, just throwing it out there, the more volunteers we have, the people that know how to run this place when the rest of us aren't here, we won't have to do that. Right now, we're all going on a cruise, so no events the second week of February, but we're going to pick it up. That's the only one on the schedule at the moment. That's not every single Wednesday right here. So, all right, sounds good. Thank you, everybody, and feel free to hang out for a little bit. Appreciate your time.